Remember when everyone was like, blockchain, not Bitcoin? And there was like the respectability politics of blockchain for enterprise use cases. Well, TradeLens, which was an IBM Maersk joint, was one of the premier examples of enterprise blockchain and how it could make these consortia of businesses the world over more efficient when it came to logging data on shared ledgers. Most of these ledgers were private, permissioned ledgers. They weren't open ledgers, and they didn't have anything to do with the coins, right? Now, we're getting some news that after about 5 years, they're officially winding this thing down. They had a hard time getting that consortia to a point where it made business sense for these shipping giants to participate in a way that used blockchain. Now, what does it all mean? Is enterprise blockchain dead forever? Who knows? Things come back. But it seems like this is a pretty big one to fall in the enterprise blockchain narrative. And it really harkens back to where we were after the last bull cycle, where this was the thing of the month. I'm going to toss it to Will. If you got any eulogies for enterprise blockchain, hit me with them, because this is a good moment to get it out there.
It's certainly about the story. I think we should cover it for sure. I remember back in the day when there was a lot of these enterprise blockchain stories of like every single article on CoinDesk at one point just felt like it had some sort of enterprise spin to it. And that's because everyone was talking about it. This was like the thing. You go to a conference, be like, not too interested in Bitcoin, but I like blockchain technology and I want to use it for my enterprise solution. And if you ask a little bit more, the person had no idea what they were really saying. And that's pretty common. Like that was just about 95% of people involved with crypto. And I think the last few years have definitely repudiated that entire argument. There hasn't been anything that's really worked. There's been a lot of different teams working on this. Consensus, which is a bespoke hub for the Ethereum ecosystem, was working on so many different solutions for enterprise models. None of that has really worked out to date. There's been some JP Morgan stuff with Quorum. I think they've sold off a lot of those assets, have never really use them. And if you really want to get into the why, it's because blockchains aren't really meant to do this sort of thing. Permissive private blockchains, the words are just antagonistic against each other at a certain level. Blockchains are supposed to be open, public, legible for everyone to read, and moving money around, not necessarily just keeping quaint little data about where one ship is transferring information to another ship. So I think this is pretty much expected, though a good little cap on a saga that has been going on for a few years. Jen, over to you.
When I read this story, I was like, whoa, blast from the past. And oh no, it's dying. I think that the important part of the story was it said no one wanted to use this, right? I think when people are talking about blockchain technology, it's this new exciting thing, like when AI was a thing, or we're talking about space, and they're like, what we have is blockchain technology, and they're not focusing on the customer's actual problem and solving that customer's actual problem. They're focusing on using blockchain technology, this new thing. But like you said, Will, it's completely permissioned and completely private. And it obviously did not solve the customer problem because they wanted to stick to using what they already had. And I think that that is a problem that persists across this industry. We are so focused on explaining the technology and showing everyone that we are using the newest and best technology, and we're not focused on explaining why this is better than what already exists. Zach?
So in terms of corporate interest in Web3 technologies, there's been a lot of parallels drawn in this cycle to the metaverse, right? So in 5 years' time, I'm putting you guys on the spot, get out the crystal ball here. In 5 years' time, will we be seeing the same headline for corporate experiments with the metaverse, or is the metaverse inevitable? What do you guys think looking forward? Jen, putting it to you.
I'm completely bullish on the metaverse. Everybody knows that. I don't know that we'll be talking about it in the same way. I think corporates jumped onto all of the excitement as part of the bull cycle. I think that there's going to be a lot of drop off during the bear, but the metaverse will be back. It is not going anywhere. And one day the hash will be done from the metaverse.
All right, Will, putting it to you. Metaverse corporate experiments, sink or swim, 5 years' time.
5 years' time, there'd be a few sad saps at the Decentral Casino, and that's about it. I'm not seeing anything actually working out on this front. Metaverse, enterprise blockchain, same sinking ship.
In 5 years, we will talk about this, and I will be right.
All right, we'll log it. We'll
Zach,
log this
what
one to the
are your
record.
thoughts?
We will revisit. I'm just here to observe. I have no thoughts. No
You're
thoughts
just a
on this one.
journalist.
Could go either way. Who knows? But just remember, next time someone says blockchain, not Bitcoin, the killer app is the coins, not the ledger itself.